So just to like recap what's even happening, this was part of the process for Deep Rest, was to like get together and have a chat. This is being recorded for the Khyber Center of Arts, as folks are aware.
Yeah.
And will probably be shared at some point, and also probably chopped and screwed a little bit. We likely would use this footage for applying for more funding in the future. And also, I don't know how often spaces are debriefed, closed spaces are debriefed, and yeah, like what kind of conversations are out there about the kind of time that we had together. I don't remember where we were, the Eastern Shore.
Yes.
Gorge. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, ideas, thoughts?
Birds of prey.
Birds of
That's
prey.
all. That's all I have to say.
You just want to say birds of prey. Good. Okay, so that will be the image of a bird. Just moving forward. Teo, sorry, what did you say?
I said I love my time. It was a good time to, be out in a very bougie cabin looking house that we had all to ourselves. Just to be Black, creative, and rest. It was great. I want to do it again.
That's the hope.
Give us dollars. Give us dollars to do it again. You are supporting Black people. Some of the most marginalized Black people, Black queer people.
LOL, look at us. Okay, I like usually do a land acknowledgement when I Bria, did you want to say anything?
No, I'm all good.
I usually do a land acknowledgement whenever I open spaces. We're not together in this right now, but I was wondering, we were very on the land at this beautiful cabin that we stayed at. And what was that like for y'all to be that connected to nature? Like, how did that feel? Yeah.
It feels really relaxed. In the city all the time, you don't realize, like, subconsciously or consciously, like maybe you do, just how much like all the noise and like the traffic and just not having access to a place to quiet your mind and be able to like connect with nature and with our ancestors, like we got to, like, sometimes it can be very, very hard to do that in the city because everything just feels very fast and buzzy, and you don't like realize until you actually leave the city and you're like, oh, my body really likes this. So I thought that was really, really, really nice. Good reset.
Beautiful. I love feeling connected to our ancestors. That was so cool. So
it's easier when you don't have like sirens going off every 5 seconds,
Yeah. The first time I ever, awkward, we might have to edit this part, but the first time I felt calm in a long time was in Birchtown, because the like ancestral connection to that place, like I just feel like the ancestors are super loud. Like I have never experienced that in my life. I was like, whoa. And I talked to my
especially on like those trails back there, like in the forest there, like someone walking with me, I feel like they're walking with me.
Walking with me. Yeah, Teo, I don't know if you've been to Birchtown, but like, whoa. Birchtown's a vibe. Okay, I'm gonna ask some questions about your art practices, y'all. How does that sound? Cute. Okay, what kind of artists are y'all? Anybody can talk. What is your, I don't want to say main like mode of artistic expression, but maybe your favorite artistic expression? Because we're inter and multidisciplinary here, everyone.
I'll go. Yes, multi. That's me. I do a lot of everything, whatever I can put my hands on. If it feels good, I do. But right now, working more so on like experimental films. But I love painting and love painting with mixed media. Yeah, that's my thing. I could probably sew or knit or something like that too. I don't know. I haven't tried yet, but I'm open to it.
Cool. Thank you.
For myself, I am a drag artist, a spoken word poet, and like artistically creative on the side, like when it comes to painting, drawing, and stuff like that. I would say the main mode of expression has definitely been through drag as of recently, although I've really wanted to get back into poetry, but it's just a lot to sit and write as of now.
Beautiful. Thanks.
For me, I'm also disciplinary artist. I love a lot of things. I feel like my favorites right now are kind of like split into two, like something kind of to get me out of my mind and my body, which is embroidering for me. I find that like very relaxing, can kind of just get in a mode, and like it allows me to like kind of just be mindful, clear my mind, or yeah, not think about anything, think about everything, but just something to do with my hands that's like less about my body. And then the other one, I really love dance and movement. And I love culinary arts too, like making really good food and desserts. I love making cake, cheesecake especially. But no, with the whole like dance side of things, I'm like am a sex worker. I've been a sex worker in the past, so like have done a lot of like pole things, burlesque and stuff. I really want to get back into it because I feel like I'm getting to a place in my life and my practice where I'm feeling a little bit more healed from like when I was younger, when I first started and experienced like, you know, exploitation and things like that, which like all work is exploitation, but you know, like I had less boundaries, and now that I'm growing and have more boundaries and like more love for myself and my art, I feel like I'm starting to be able to get to a point where I can share with people and perform again, which I'm really, really excited about. So yeah.
Cool. We love performing. I mean, I don't know that everyone loves performing, but I love performing, even though it's one of the scariest things ever. It's always like, yeah, I'm a performer. I love to perform. I love performance art. Then I get like to the stairs of the stage and I'm like, do I love this? Why am I here? Why did I actually, who said that this was fun? Whose fault is this? Who do I blame?
That's exactly my struggle. I struggle a lot with stage fright, and like I don't know. I feel like since I moved here too, like because I'm still like, you know, building community and whatnot and getting comfortable here. Yeah, and also there's just not really a lot of spaces um for performers like who work in sex work to perform. Yeah, then it's become a little bit more inaccessible, but yeah. Scary. Performance is scary sometimes. I feel like I'm gonna vomit right before I go on stage. But then it's fine. Up there, I feel great.
I don't
get what I call bubble guts. And I feel perfectly fine as soon as I'm done whatever I'm doing. But like usually the day of like public speaking or performing, yeah, my guts are not okay. I usually can't eat and stuff, and then as soon as I'm done, I'm like so hungry. Yeah.
I just like do the whole panic, and then I always think I can't do it.
Yeah.
Let's usually. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna ask some more questions. This one's about arts again. Because I'm curious what kind of artistic practices y'all might get into if like there were no boundaries, no barriers. So you know, like some art's like so expensive, like resin art is really expensive. Maybe one of us here is a brilliant resin artist, but we don't know because it costs $5 million to make 10 things, you know, or like maybe, yeah, maybe if there was more space, we would be doing X, Y, and Z. So I'm really interested in like, if you had no limits, what kind of art you might practice or what you might try and get your hands into or create?
Spray cans. I want spray cans, tape. I want goddamn like, and like the fine like, you know what I mean? Like put a fine little nozzle on and get right up in there. I want like goddamn giant ass things that you can hold the canvas on and just space where I could chuck a bucket and like I know I won't mess something up. You know what I mean? Like just splash paint. I want to splash paint everywhere. That is what I want to do. If I had the space and no barriers, I would splash paint on canvases everywhere with a bunch of different unique colors, neon colors, this, that, and the third. Yeah, I go wow. I go buck crazy.
Okay. Okay, cool. I will keep that in mind. If I ever have extra money to buy spray cans with, I will do that. I will help you achieve those dreams. Anybody else?
I'll go. It's more so the space. I just want space to do whatever I want to do. It could be anything, as long as I have a space that's big enough for me to, navigate whatever I'm feeling at that moment. Yeah, so, and I do love resin, and resin is expensive, and I'm going broke because of it. I'm not amazing yet, but I'm getting there, I think. Yeah, I just want some space.
Yeah, space is a commodity. Like, space is stressful when we're in like a housing crisis. It's like, where are the in-between spaces for us to create art in? And people can't even find stable housing, It's like a bit of an existential crisis question, but Lauren, did you have oh no, Teo, you just unmuted. Speak, go.
I was gonna say, you know what? If I had the space to learn how to work a sewing machine, I would like that. I would like to learn how to work a sewing machine. Just in case if I get on Drag Race,
This is like a sidebar, Teo, but I think there might be, I don't know what Patches is, but Patches gave us like a free sewing class or something at the youth project. So anyways, we'll connect about that. Lauren, I feel like you were going to say something.
I feel like I resonated with a lot of what was said. I really want to make big things like murals really, really bad, or like just huge art. And I think space is a big thing. Like I really wish, honestly, like first thing, just a community space or place that could be used as an art hub that could like just host all of the things in a really accessible way would be beautiful. Because I feel like space is a big thing, almost the first thing that I think about when I think about making art with no barriers. And then also for me, like I really want like a farm and like bees and to be a beekeeper so that I can make as much candles as I want, because beeswax is extremely expensive and also not all places do it ethically. And I would really like, even though I'm terrified of bees, but I feel like if I was in a suit, I'd be fine. I really want to like be like a old queer beekeeper, auntie, uncle person at some point. And I don't know. For like dance aspects and removing barriers too, thought about this a lot. Again, space. There's nowhere for sex workers to work safely. That's why we have some of the highest like sex trafficking in Canada and Halifax. And also what I don't like about a lot of clubs is that's inaccessible money-wise, because when you go, you pay like a huge fee to dance, or they take money from you, which is also exploitative after, like away from whatever money you made for the night. They'll take like a percentage. And I'd really like for there to be a space where folks in that industry could work, but not have to pay a house fee, or maybe even there would be grants or access to money so that they could, like sex workers could get paid hourly, which is not something I've really heard of happening, but I would like that to be a thing. Because it's important. It's important work.
Cool. Thank you. Bria, did you want to say anything?
think I have anything to add except that I want to see all of these things happen really bad. And yeah, if there's any way I can support them, I would love to. Oh, Lauren, this past year, my partner and I joined a land co-op, and they do have bees and hives on that land. So I'll be learning beekeeping this year with a friend. So we'll bring you sometime. Yeah.
I would also love it if we could like have like maybe funding for like, I don't know, Black hair products, or like a space where we can do like where we have funding to care for our hair and learn creative ways to care for our hair together, and have the products that actually support maintaining our hair, because Sally's ain't it.
No, and that can totally be a thing. Like, even when I worked at Khyber, there was an event that Martha Matale did, and we had like local Black businesses who sell natural products, and they all came. And then Martha also did like a full workshop presentation with demonstrations and stuff too. So like showing people how to use the things, how to moisturize your hair and stuff. So yeah, I know Martha just moved away, but yeah, that could totally be a possibility.
If
Yeah.
you are looking for somebody, I want to suggest Lakita Wiggins. She does all that stuff.
Yeah, she knows like a lot about hair. Like
And
she
has
makes hair
beautiful
stuff. Makes
I need my
she's
hair to feel
hair.
like silk and not like crunch, munch, munch. Not that.
she would help you. She would help you. Yeah, she gonna like tell you though if you're doing something bad to your hair. She's always like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Whatever." But yeah,
I have to trust in Sally's. We have nothing else. Like for Nova Scotia, it's crazy to believe we don't even have like a braiding bar or like a braiding. Do we have a braiding salon or something like that?
That there is thing on Gajan, or it is open. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one on Gottingen, and there's a few Black hair stores.
Awesome.
But you just have to kind of know about them, I feel like. Like
and you
there's
gotta know the braiders. You got to know the braids. Braids
And
don't
this is what
have
I'm saying. Like, we don't have a place that can do like fox locks and like twist, or do we? Because I like, as far as I'm concerned, mom was the only one. Mom had people at her house coming here doing people's hair.
Yeah, people are still going to people's houses, but that ain't never gonna change.
Yeah, I go to my braider's house. That's what I do. Like all of the braiders I've ever had in the city, even in Toronto, have been like my friend or my auntie, like somebody that I know who I met who just knows how to do that hair. But I think it would be, I think
a Black hair would be great.
Yeah, I don't think that that's impossible.
Oh no.
No, there's girls that can braid your whole head. Oh my gosh, there's incredible braiders in the city. And sometimes there are just people that you know that if you're lucky enough, they'll just do it for you. But
my mom.
I'm worried about people in rural areas in this province. Like in the city, yes, there are braiders, but I know when I was living in rural areas, there's like there's some Black kids out there and mixed kids who have like no place to go get their hair done. I think it would be cool to have like a traveling situation sometimes. I've thought of a little braid bus.
True.
Hair things like for us really count as self-care. So like to consider that when doing programming or applying for budgeting or not budgeting, what the hell, funding. Also as a person who grew up in Yarmouth, I had to teach myself to do my own hair from a really young age. So a lot of what you just said just resonates really hard. Since we have limited time, I just wanted to ask you all about like art that you made while you were at Deep Rest. I know a lot of you got to get creative. Some of you, I think, in a few new ways too. I know, Lauren, you made like beautiful food and things, like a beautiful painting. Teo made a beautiful painting. A few, I think, maybe. Dee Dee made beautiful paintings and stuff. Would any of you like to talk about like what it was like to get to create when you had that space
away from like daily life?
It felt like really good to be able to create in a space where there was no expectation other than to just rest and be creative. I still haven't finished the pieces, but I still have all the canvases and the paint, and I plan to be using it at some point in time when the mood strikes me. But yeah, it felt good to be in a space where I didn't have to, or where there was no like need or expectation to be anywhere but there and just create. So that felt good.
I'll go, I guess. Yeah, sometimes I do have the space and the time to create when I'm home, but being there, it was a lot quieter. And I'm still working on making a quilt with my grandmother's clothing, and to sit in silence made it very emotional. I never had that space of a child running around, so I can really think about what I'm doing. But to have that, it felt pretty good. Still haven't made it yet. Have tons more squares to cut. But yeah, silence is what I need to get creative, really. And I appreciate that, and appreciate you guys offering me that space.
Our pleasure.
For me, the first thing that comes to mind is like time, like the lack of time having to really be a thing. For me, like if someone struggles with executive dysfunction, like it's really nice to just not have any time pressure whatsoever. Like the art can happen in its own time, but making food, nobody's like, when is this gonna have to happen? Or like this has to happen right now, or this is on a timeline. Like it was nice to not really have anything super scheduled. I mean, like if we were there for longer and there were activities scheduled, cool, but like it was just nice to not have many time restrictions. Yeah, it was really, really, really nice. And also quiet. Yeah, the peace, not being loud. It's really, really nice.
So wild to think that like everything we do is so scheduled that we never can like really be like, oh, I guess this can happen around this time.